Worst thing in the world. All right, this needs to be documented. What's the date today? 6th. The 6th of November. The greatest news, some of the greatest news in my life just happened. I can't say anything about it. Fuck yes! Ah! I can't wait to share with you, but they won't let me share anything. I want you to remember this date, November 6th. Mwah! You know who you are. Mwah! Mwah, maestro. Mwah!
Now, Jason with Henry Cavill back in the tights as Superman. I gotta say, man, it looks like things are open for the JL to come back together, maybe take on Black Adam. What are your thoughts?
I think with Peter Safran and Mr. Gunn at the helm now of DC, I'm very excited about that. There's a lot of cool things going to be coming up, and one of my dreams come true will be happening under their watch. So stay tuned. Was it 4 years ago? I had the Jeep out front. Yeah. No, I want you. I had it 4 years ago. I was screaming, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Screaming when I left Warner Brothers. Right? Everyone's in the meeting. 4 years again. It's a mystery, baby. We got, I got some really good news. Great news with Warner Brothers. Amazing. Wish I could tell you, but here it is. Peter, I love you. James, I love you. David. Okay. Mwah! To the future, to the future. Baby! Picture me rolling.
So, in today's video, we're going to go over Jason Momoa's most recent video, thanking the heads of DC and even thanking David Zaslav. But hang on a minute, James Gunn doesn't cast anyone until his script is pretty much done with. So does that mean they've casted Jason Momoa in something that's got nothing to do with his Superman movie? But that goes against everything he's just said. So James Gunn has pretty much just exposed himself? I don't know. And also, we're going to go over some recent Flash film news that has come out. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? What's you here? If you are new around, and make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture based content that we try to do on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below what is going on. Who is Jason Momoa, my man, talking about? And also, if you could check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, and check us out on Twitter at WarstuG. Right, let's get into this video. So I played 2 clips before the video started. One dating way back to when Jason Momoa was like, yo, I've got some freaking news. I can't tell you. And now the most recent one last night, ironically, came out about 2-3 hours after I posted yesterday's DC video, thanking James Gunn, David Zaslav, and Pete Safran, saying he can't freaking wait for the future of the DC universe. But as I said in the prologue, James Gunn said this: my thoughts are no one has been cast for Superman yet. So Jason Momoa isn't going to be Superman. Confirmed. Casting is almost always the case with me. Will happen after the script is finished or close to finish. And it isn't. We'll announce a few things in a not too long, but the casting for Superman won't be one of them. So, James Gunn is up to something. He's exposed. He's not telling you the truth because Momoa just said something. So, what did he actually say? 4 years ago, I had the Jeep front. Y'all remember 4 years ago I was screaming, wasn't I? Screaming when I left Warner Bros. Everybody ready? Yeah, 4 years again. It's a mystery, baby. I've got some really good news. Great news, Warner Bros. Amazing. So, as we know in animation and in comics, Lobo is a freaking badass. So everyone seems to think he wants to play Lobo because it's his dream to play Lobo. So confirmed to play Lobo because he's got long hair and he allegedly wants to play Lobo. So apparently that is what's going down according to the internet. It's a real shame that it's not Henry Cavill Superman going up or meeting Jason Momoa, potential Lobo. That would have been so freaking cool. So Momoa's like getting on now, so it's going to be an oldish Lobo to a certain degree with a young Superman. Momoa ended by expressing his love towards DC Studios co-CEOs James Gunn and Pete Safran and Warner Bros. Discovery CEOs David Zaslav. Wish I could tell you, but here it is. Pete Safran, I love you. James Gunn, I love you. David Zaslav, okay, to the future. Warstu, I love you. Okay, he didn't say that, but he basically said that in a roundabout way. So I do find this fascinating, how everyone else to do with the old regime, anyone else attached with the said SnyderVerse and all that kind of stuff, none of them know what the freaking hell's going on. Henry Cavill got the boot, or is he coming back for Crisis to play an older version of Superman? Maybe that would be pretty cool. But for some reason, they're rolling out the red freaking carpet for Jason Momoa. Is that because his first movie banged $1 billion? Well, why don't we wait for the second movie to see what's going to happen first? So, one of his dreams come true. He said that in the first video that we tagged to start of the video. Broad, but not a blanket reset. So, I mean, it would be cool if they just chucked all the other characters that played other characters into new roles, which looks like they could be doing with Jason Momoa. That could be cool. Now, we have had a live action version in a TV show on Sci-Fi called Krypton before, and Lobo was a freaking train wreck. So let's really hope whatever James Gunn, Pete Safran, and David Zaslav have up their sleeves, it's going to be a better version than the version that was on Krypton on Sci-Fi. Yo, Warstu, play a clip now. If I don't get a copyright claim, I'll leave it over the top now. But yeah, this was a freaking train wreck on season 2 of Krypton when Lobo appeared. But to be fair, Jason Momoa does look really good as Lobo in the fan art, and he's a somewhat decent actor, to be fair. He was pretty good in Games of Thrones. He's an okay Aquaman, but we need to see Aquaman 2 before we fully judge him. What the freaking hell's going on? People seem to think that Lobo and Superman are going to get into some kind of fight, but as I've said, James Gunn doesn't cast anyone till the script is nearly done, although he's kind of contradicted himself multiple times by saying, yep, the Guardians main crew, we're all coming to DC, we're going to work with them again, probably at my new job. So it's like, yo, Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, you're all coming over to DC. So I do like James Gunn somewhat, but he keeps contradicting what he's going to say. If you're not going to say anything, truthfully, James, stop coming out with these random tweets because you're just making yourself look silly. And again, he reaffirms what Jason Momoa said, although Jason Momoa didn't actually say anything. Never a dull moment with Jason. Also, it's never a dull moment with James Gunn as people frantically want this DC slate to come out. To be honest, guys, to be honest, lads and ladettes, I don't really mind when it comes out because, like I said in a few videos previously, they're not going to start shooting anything new for at least 6 months to a year. So it doesn't really matter. I just hope for Jason Momoa's sake that Aquaman 2 does well. So we've got some leaked images from a toy set that reveals Batman, the Flash younger Barry, and the Dark Flash. I don't know why people seem to think that this is a spoiler, but Warner Bros. Have been copyright claiming and DMCA claiming stuff. It's from Spin Master Toy Company. So if you put it on the internet, apparently they would copyright claim you. According to the Flash Film News, I don't understand why people say this is a big spoiler because we literally put a plot leak video out about a year ago, and it's no surprise that Edbar Thorne has no place in this movie. Although allegedly there is some kind of tease at the end of the movie. The direct previously revealed another version of Barry Allen will act as the Dark Flash, and well, they didn't actually reveal that. Your boy Warstu put a video out about 7 months ago about that. DC has yet to make it clear in the marketing, although the leaked clip that came out a while back revealed Dark Flash again. Now on this direct article, it says Dark Flash is pretty much description surface online for a new line of action figures based on this year's Flash, revealing surprising details about the movie's villain and its starring cast. It's not really that surprising. One figure revealed a visionous Dark Flash, which boasted a mangled face mask behind a bulkier black Flash suit with spikes emerging from shoulders. The design appears to combine both elements of the corrupted speedster and the Savitar from CW Flash. I mean, I could get where you're coming from, but I don't see that. Ezra Miller's The Flash scene donning the new suit has been shown across the movie's marketing previously, but what particularly interesting comes from another labeled as the younger Barry. Is that how they're going to explain him in the movie? Because although plot leak information from test screeners is pretty much 90% bang on, they do change minor things here or there. The listing scenes supply that Miller, the second Flash in the movie, will not be a multiversal variant, as many expected, but rather the same one fans have grown familiar with from an earlier point in time. Is that true? I don't know. Why the Flash villain might be controversial. So the gist of this fluff piece is, because it's not the reverse Flash they're using, Dark Flash essentially removes the core component of Flashpoint, being the everlasting feud between the two speedsters, being Barry Allen and Eobard Thawne. Eobard Thawne is the one that killed Nora Allen, and in order to stop Flashpoint Paradox, Eobard Thawne has to be allowed to kill Nora Allen again, or for the first time, it depends which way you look at it, in order to stop the Flashpoint Paradox. Although I would say this is more like the Black Flash from the Flash TV show, if you want to use that kind of example, where the Black Flash is chasing speedsters who are corrupting the timeline, and he's trying to take everything and put everything back to the way it's naturally supposed to occur, or some kind of variance of this. I do think it's a massive L that they haven't put Eobard Thawne in it, because you can clearly see in the first trailer there is a speedster in the scene where we see Nora Allen. I think it's a huge ass L that they didn't hire Anthony Starr to be the reverse Flash because he plays a cool, evil Superman in The Boys. Okay, it's not evil Superman, but it's pretty close. They should have hired him to be Eobard Thawne. What's interesting about The Flash is apparently they've already paid someone, and apparently Flash 2 is already scripted to go. Now, if we do get Flash 2, and if Ezra Miller somehow gets to the second movie without being fired, even though they got rid of Henry Cavill, it's the biggest L ever. But either way, regardless of who plays the Flash in the second movie, there will be a second Flash movie, because the Flash is a pinnacle character to Justice League. So regardless, at some point there will be a second movie in James Gunn and Pete Safran and David Zaslav's slate, because David Zaslav is the boy, essentially, at DC and Warner Bros. Discovery, because he's the CEO. But either way, the second movie has to have a reverse Flash in it. It's ridiculous that we haven't had one already, because it's literally the most important part of his backstory to do with how his mother dies. It's ridiculous. We know in the Flash movie that essentially most of the story will be, a roundabout way, Barry Allen trying to prove Henry Allen, his father's, innocent. And he does by the end of the movie, sure. But the big part of his movie is it was Eobard Thawne, reverse Flash in the yellow suit all along that did that. So I think it's controversial that they've gone with Dark Flash, but he looks more like a Black Flash, realistically. So does this confirm plot leaks? Yeah, it does confirm plot leaks. But I do think it's insane that for some reason DC decided not to put in reverse Flash. You've got Batfleck, you got Keaton, you got Supergirl. You don't have Warstu. You could have had Warstu, but you rejected me to be an extra, didn't you? Yeah, you did. Not cool. But no Eobard Thawne. That has got to be the biggest L in comic book movie history ever. Although I still think this movie will do well, even with all the controversy. Even though Ezra Miller is pretty much getting away with all the havoc he was causing. Ezra Miller appeared in Superior Court today to plead guilty to unlawful trespassing. Yeah, basically admits to doing it, but he's not guilty because he's admit to doing it, but he's not admit to doing it. Okay, I don't know how laws work in America, but in the UK, if you take a plea deal, you are admitting that you are guilty. Miller is to pay $500 and $190 in subcharges to immediately serve a 1-year probation period. As part of the plea agreement, Miller agreed to 41 conditions, including, but not limited to, excessive drinking, random breathalyzers, and drug tests to continue seeking mental health treatment. If Miller successfully completes probation, Judge Kerry and McDonnell may dismiss the suspended sentence of 89 to 90 days in jail. So basically, he got away with causing havoc, doing all that crazy stuff in Hawaii, choking a fan out in Iceland, and all this crazy stuff, allegedly all this child protection stuff, which is literally out there, but for some reason, people seem to think it never happened and it was... I'm going to have to bleep that word because of the way YouTube is at the moment. But you get my drift. Somehow he's got away with absolutely everything, because Warner Bros. Has probably taken care of it. So as we know, The Flash did slight reshoots on the 12th of January, around that kind of time period, just to tie in up some VFX shots. The movie is pretty much locked. It's not going to change. And it is a sad case that we're having a Flash movie without a reverse Flash. It's a travesty. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and let me know what the frickin' hell's going on at DC Studios. I don't hire anyone until my script is done. Jason Momoa's like, yo, lads, I've got a role, but I can't tell you. But is it going to be linked to the Superman movie? Is Lobo going to fight Superman? that could potentially happen. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. And I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.